boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Mercury Farms with me, CWATTYESO. It's the start of a new day here on the farm, but unfortunately for me, this is my second time seeing all this, because when I originally recorded the video, as I was playing and recording it, the commentary wasn't being recorded. For some reason, somehow I've managed to mute the microphone in Shadowplay, so I'm having to now try and do the commentary after the recording whilst I've got the video sat in Vegas while I'm editing it and rendering it and stuff. So I'll probably forget all the really important and amazing things I discussed about as I was actually playing the episode and recording the episode, but hey ho, what can you do? It's one of them things at the minute. I'm having audio issues all the time. Now, when I say I'm having audio issues, people are telling me, like when I'm playing on the multiplayer server, they can't hear me in Discord, or Discord is cutting out when I'm trying to say something important. When I'm streaming, people in the chat suddenly start trying to tell me that they can't hear me, usually after someone in Discord has said they can't hear me, and I think they're trolling me, basically. I think they're basically trying to mess me up. Because I then obviously start thinking, oh, something's broken, and I go off and start pressing buttons and fiddling with things, and then I do create a problem, like today, where somehow I managed to mute Shadowplay, even though I don't use Shadowplay when I'm streaming. I have discovered, however, one thing. On my mouse, my Razer Naga mouse, there's a button on the thumb side of the mouse. I have 12 buttons under my thumb. One of the buttons mutes the microphone in Windows Sound Manager. Not in my mixer, not in like Shadowplay, not in OBS or anything like that, but actually in the Windows control panel type thing, it mutes the microphone. And what's really annoying about that is that that button is right next to the button that is the push to talk button for Discord. So sometimes I think when I'm trying to push to talk, I'm actually muting the mic, and that's possibly why people can't hear me. But anyway, we're back to the farm. Right, we're going to be doing some harvesting, obviously. Unfortunately, as I'm recording this commentary in Sony Vegas, or Magic's Vegas, I've got a tiny little postage stamp sized video playing in the corner of the screen, so I can't actually see what's written on any of the bars, so I don't know who's driving the harvester. Is it Dolores? Looks like possibly it's Dolores driving the old harvester. She's going to do the oats here on field 39 for me. She's going to get them done, which means I'll probably have Helgi doing trailer duty today, hopefully getting that done, and he can provide trailer service or auger service for her, and then obviously once we finish this field we can move over to the canola field and get the canola harvest done. Dolores is going to put the straw down, so that does mean we are going to have to do a bit of a loading wagon session as well, to get that all collected up. I must try and remember that. Otherwise I'll go to the field and start going to plough it or something, and I'll forget, and then I'll get there and it'll be like, the straw needs picking up. So we'll let Helgi grab the man truck, one of the man trucks, the yellow one. It's right near the auger wagon anyway, so where's he going? Oh, he's gonna go get the wool and stuff, is he, first? Is he gonna move the pallets, the eggs and the wool? Possibly. You know, I only recorded this a couple of hours ago and I can't remember what I did. I honestly can't remember what I did. I know I have problems again in this episode with the forage harvester, but I do manage to get that figured out and fixed out in the end. I know what's the problem, what's causing the issue with that, why it won't mow the grass properly. I do figure that out in the end, and there's a little clip at the end of this video in which I explain how to get the forage harvester to mow the grass correctly. But yeah, see, I'm going to blame my forgetfulness on the fact that I'm on about 6 different pain medication at the minute for my back, which is really playing me rotten at the minute, and I've got to wait a couple of weeks before I can even see the physio at my doctor's surgery and start having it investigated and find out what's really going on with my back. obviously my back's been deteriorating for a couple of years now since my car accident. Although my back wasn't injured in my accident, when I was in hospital after the accident, they put an epidural in the upper part of my spine to help with the pain relief from the injuries I had experienced in the accident. My broken shoulder, shattered shoulder, all my broken ribs, sternum and collapsed lungs. So they put pain relief directly into my spine to help, obviously, me to not feel too much pain. However, that became infected after a couple of days and I ended up getting sepsis. And the last thing you want as an individual is sepsis anyway, and to certainly get it in your spine is probably the worst thing you could ever get. I ended up in intensive care, and you know, it was real close touch and go for a little while whether or not, you know, I was going to actually still be here, sort of thing. But eventually they got it under control. However, they did say that after you've had something like sepsis, an infection in your spine, there's no telling what the long-term prognosis is going to be, because they don't know what the damage is done, what damage has been done, and whether that damage is going to continue. You know, because obviously nerves don't heal and recover as fast as other parts of the body. They take, you know, when nerves get damaged, they take a long time to heal and recover. And what the doctor said to me at the time was, yes, it's going to take a lot. We know it's going to, you know, after any kind of injury or trauma or anything like that to nerves, it's going to take a long time for them to heal and recover. However, because of the sepsis and what that's done to your nerves, we don't know if the nerves will recover, and we don't know if actually they're going to continue to degenerate then over time because of what the infection's done to them. So we fast forward now 3 years after my accident, and it looks as though the nerves in my spine, my spinal cord, basically everything from the base of my neck, from the base of my skull all the way down to the tips of my toes, is degenerating and getting worse, and I am experiencing, like, every single day I am in pain. So for a long time now, a lot of months now, I've been taking 8 paracetamol a day, and the equivalent in ibuprofen, you know, stuff that I'm having to buy over the counter in supermarkets or pharmacy chemists, at great expense to myself, and quite honestly, they don't do anything. They do not ease the pain one little bit. So last week, I finally reached the point where it's like, I need help. Doctors, this ain't right. This is not normal. Especially as I'm finding it harder and harder to move around, walk around, sit, lie down, stuff like that now. I'm not getting any kind of comfort, respite from it. So I ended up speaking to the doctor last week, and they got me an appointment with a physio consultant on Friday night of last week. And as I say, I've now got an appointment for 4 weeks' time to see the actual physio, who's going to begin trying to get to the bottom. He's probably going to send me for scans and x-rays and stuff, as well as start giving me manipulation and massage and stuff to try and help relieve the problems. But the main thing, important thing is, today the doctor rang me up the first thing this morning to say, I've prescribed you some proper pain medication. It'll be ready for you to pick up in half an hour. Come and fetch it, and hopefully it'll do you the world of good. So I'm now on that. I'm on codeine. I think it's codeine, part of the morphine family, and yeah, I'm taking that. So that's probably why I can't remember recording this and what I did. But yeah, auger wagon, empty the harvester. We're going to take the oats, make seed. When we do the canola, obviously we're going to be making fuel and pig food. And then we're going to get the fields turned around. This field's going to have grass planted on it, but I'll probably never actually mow it, harvest it, because literally at this moment in time, as I sit here, I'm thinking that this series, the Mercury Farms Let's Play series, probably has only 1 or 2 more episodes to record after today. So I've obviously got this episode you're watching now recorded. The next episode I recorded pretty much back to back straight after. So don't count that episode. That episode's already recorded, but there'll probably be 2 more episodes to record in the future. And I'm knocking stuff off my counter now. There's cables all in the floor and everywhere. What's that? That's a mini USB cable. I don't even know what that's off. I don't think we use mini USB anymore. Nearly everything's micro USB these days. Anyway, pop that there. So, as I say, Dolores is getting the oats done. Very nice of Dolores. Helgi's running trailer duty. Very nice of Helgi. Doug's doing whatever Doug's doing. Hope it's something that's important. But yeah, I've kind of reached the point where I think we've achieved our main goal with the Mercury Farms Let's Play series. I set out at the start of this series to see if it was possible to make money without doing the traditional, the farming cycle of, you know, growing crops, selling crops, harvest, you know, plough, cultivate, seed, fertilise, harvest, repeat, you know. I made sure that we were selling and producing non-standard crops. So we were selling, we're making and selling, you know, non-typical fruit items, and that's how we're making the money on this map. And I think I've achieved that. I've shown that that can be a very, very productive way of doing things. So obviously, we'll be bringing this series to an end soon and moving on to another map. It's probably going to be Welker Farms. However, I am going to wait for the Welker Farms map to receive a proper update and patch to fix things. I know I've done my own personal kind of edit tweak to the map to fix some of the issues with it that I obviously brought up in my first look map video, which I uploaded a little while ago. But I'm probably going to wait for the Mapper's Paradise to do the actual proper official update, and then I'll go in and make any tweaks and adjustments to that I need to make then. Like making sure there are sell points on the map that accept all the fruit types, all the crop types, as well as all the additional production items that we can make and sell. Because generally speaking, a lot of maps don't allow you to sell seed, fertiliser, lime, all that sort of stuff, fuel. They don't typically come with sell points for those built into them, so I will have to go in and create a few or edit a few sell points to make sure I can sell those items. What I'll also be doing is making sure that obviously when we start on Welker Farms, we start with, you know, appropriate equipment for Welker Farms, i.e. we do have big buds in our starting fleet. We do have, you know, a big brute sprayer. We do have the international truck that they restored, you know, a few years back on their YouTube channel. So I'll be making sure all that's done. I'll be getting rid of all the stuff that's rubbish, that's fake, that, you know, Welker Farms have never got, never used, never will have, sort of thing. That Mapper's Paradise seem to think, you know, oh, we won't give you the proper equipment, so we'll just give you a bunch of case tractors. That'll do. No, it doesn't do, Mapper's Paradise. Welkers use big buds. Give us big buds. Especially when on your Facebook page, Mapper's Paradise, you had a mod pack of 3 Welker Farm big branded, badged big buds. Why didn't you put them in the map? You know, silly question, but, you know, it would have made more sense to include the Welker Farms big buds with the Welker Farms map. Mapper's Paradise. And that way then, people on consoles could have had them too. Not just the PC people downloading it from your Facebook page. But anyway, we're going to get the canola harvested now, or Dolores is. Helgi's probably going to have to run backwards and forwards a bit, doing obviously the trailer runs to empty her, whilst also maybe going off and getting that straw collected, because we are going to want to get that field. Field 39 is going to want to be ploughed. It's going to want to be fertilised, and it's going to want to be limed. I know it technically doesn't need lime spreading according to the map, but if I'm ploughing a field, I'm going to lime. I think I also need to do some stuff to take care of the animals as well. I think the sheep need some water and some grass or hay. I think they're starting to get a little bit brassic in that area. Chickens are taken care of because obviously Dolores fed the chickens the other day with the big bags. She was buying the chicken food in bags from the store and feeding them. So that'll all be taken care of. Obviously I've got to go down to the store and buy a forage harvester header because I discovered the problem with the forage harvester after the last video. At first I thought it was just a glitch with the map when I couldn't harvest, because when I saved and exited the map I reloaded from a backup of the map and I was able to harvest it fine. The grass harvested perfectly fine with any forage harvester, vanilla game, base game harvesters or modded harvesters. It all worked fine. However, what I forgot to take note of was that when I was doing the test after that episode on the backup save, I was harvesting without a trailer attached to the harvester. I was doing the forage harvesting and driving a tractor with trailer beside the harvester, and it was harvesting perfectly fine with, as I say, with any harvester, any header combination, mod headers, regular headers. It was all fine. Come in game today, and as you'll see in a minute, I can't harvest the grass again. Also, I've got the multi-fruit header mod off the mod hub, which adds these two modded versions of the already available in-game 360 Plus and 360 Pro Plus headers, and they don't harvest grass. Somebody's basically just took Giant's already existing headers, added a few extra crops in the XML file so it can do like corn, sunflowers, you know, cotton, all the other stuff, but then they forgot to have it do grass. So obviously the Giants model, the Giants ones just do corn. And that makes me, I wonder, you know, how have Giants allowed somebody just to basically re-upload an in-game header where they've basically just changed one line of code? They haven't changed anything else on the mod, the headers. They've done nothing else to them. They've just changed one line of code, and now they're claiming it to be a new mod. I thought Giants didn't allow that sort of thing. I do get confused with Giants mod hub. I'm almost at the stage, I'm almost getting to the point in time where I'm going to stop downloading any mods on the mod hub. The in-game mod hub from Giants and that, I'm not going to download any more of them because they're just getting weird. I'm going to stick to using mods from, you know, the internet and authors' paid websites directly, because I think there's just better mods out there on those sites. The mod hub really isn't coming through with the goods. Like I say, we're seeing basically people just re-uploading already available in-game equipment where they're just changing one or two lines of code. That's not making a new mod, and that's not really making anything new. But yeah, I grabbed the trailer on the back of my forage harvester. I also have an issue with it. It won't work. GPS won't work on the harvester. So every time I try to activate the GPS, the harvester just stops. It won't drive. It won't go forwards or backwards. I don't know what caused that. Eventually, I take the harvester to the shop and I actually take the GPS off it, and I put the GPS back on again. That seemed to fix it, but I still couldn't get it to mow the grass. It still won't mow and look at these cars ramming into me. I'm going to turn them off in a minute. Traffic's got to go. When I'm trying to mow this field, the traffic's got to be turned off because it just gets in the way. Every time I'm trying to turn around at the bottom of the field, it's getting in the way. So, AI traffic, you can do what? So I can't GPS, otherwise the harvester stops. And look, it's not harvesting properly again, look. Not harvesting at all. So it's ready to harvest, but At this point, I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's probably had that same issue that I had last time. I'll just save and I'll reload the map. Like, I'll exit out the game and reload the save game and it will work. But I then discover, as I say later on in the video, that that's not the case at all. It's actually because of the trailer. I need a smaller trailer. I tried to get a auger wagon that I could pull behind the harvester, but none of the default in-game auger wagons accept grass, and I haven't got any modded ones installed on this save. So I couldn't pull an auger wagon behind unless I got a little an IT runner trailer and put this type of auger wagon on the back. Get one of those little low to the ground IT runner trailers, the ones with the tracks like I use for the water tank. That would have done it, I suppose. But the problem with an auger wagon is it takes so long to unload an auger wagon, whereas a trailer that you just open the whole back and tip the trailer, they unload so much quicker. So I really want a trailer when I'm doing the grass, especially if I'm tipping it in the BGA bunkers to make silage and putting it in the bunkers. An auger wagon won't empty into the silos, the bunkers, the clamps. Has to be a trailer. Anyway, there's that guy. He's parked there. Jump in, turn around. Loris always has a habit of stopping with a pipe in the crop. Have you noticed that? She doesn't think ahead and think to herself, you know what, I'm getting close to full. Rather than turn around and start driving down the next row where I'm definitely going to get full, why don't I just stop at the end of the current row and wait for the guy to harvest me where he's not going to have any problems because the pipe will be on the correct side, and then I could turn around and start the row. No, she doesn't think like that, does she? She doesn't use logic. Well, of course she wouldn't. She's a woman. Women don't use logic, do they? They don't have the logic part of the brain. I shouldn't say that though. I like Dolores Floffelbotham. The Old Family Farm was still has been one of my favourite maps to play in Farming Sim, and it was one of my favourite series. Fenton Forest was obviously my best series to date. Old Family Farm was second, I think. This is probably third. Estancia Lapacho 4. Washoe Nevada's probably going to be a 5. It's going to be very tough for that to get any higher on the list. I don't know how long I'm going to run that map for, to be perfectly honest with you. I've done a couple of videos so far on that map, and all I've done so far is I've harvested 2 fields, I've planted a field, and I've been to the store a couple of times and leased lots of equipment, and that's all I've done in like 4 hours. 4-hour-long videos. I don't see me being able to get too much out of that map. Playtime. Until I'm in a position where I literally own all the fields and I've got lots of crops and stuff to do. Right now, only having a couple of fields, there's too much downtime whilst I'm waiting for stuff to grow or stuff to happen. I have added the chickens on Nevada. I've added 4 chicken pens that I'm trying to get sorted out as well. There's an area near the chickens that I'm going to be doing some custom field work on. I'm going to create my own field, basically, is the plan that I have planned. The plan that I have planned. Grow my own crop, so I can grow all the crops I need to feed the chickens right next to the chickens. That would be the plan on Washoe, Nevada. But obviously, I'm using realistic numbers, and I'm using a version that is now one version behind. There's been an update to it this week, but I can't drop the new version of the mod into the mod folder because it has slightly different code, and it's got some slightly new elements that aren't compatible with previous save games that have used previous versions of the mod. For example, the realistic numbers mod now has actually got the ability within it to control crop growth, and the number of days it takes for crops to grow is now part of realistic numbers, so you don't need to use growth control anymore with realistic numbers, because growth control hasn't been updated for quite some time, so it doesn't support multi-fruit maps which have multi-fruit on them, and extra new fruit types and added fruit types aren't supported by growth control, but realistic numbers does support them. Also, the PDF in realistic numbers has grown from 69 pages now to about 85. But I still think it would be better if the mod author did like a video, did a couple of videos showing you how things actually work, how you're supposed to do things within the mod, you know, how you're supposed to do the fertilizing correctly with the adjustable spray rates and stuff, and how to determine which type of fertilizer you should use on what crops. Also, like how the animal system works with the young animals, middle-aged animals and old-aged animals, and how you're supposed to work that out and operate that within the game. It definitely needs... The PDF's okay. It explains what, you know, what the mod author's trying to do with the mod. Gives you a lot of information on that front, and a lot of data obviously backed up by obviously real world figures and studies into different types of farming in different parts of the world and stuff. So he certainly provides all the info on where he gets his data from that affects the numbers within the mod. However, as I say, I would like to see some kind of guide that just focuses on how you actually operate the mod, work the mod, configure the mod. You know, how you how you interpret the information that gets thrown at you in the game, and how you make it understand it. And because at the moment I'm just doing normal fertilizer. Once I've harvested a field, I'm just putting normal fertilizer on it. I don't know if that's right or wrong. But if we get this canola harvested here, this should keep Dolores going for a little bit longer. She probably might, I don't know if she'll get the rest of the field done without needing to be emptied again. We might have to do one more empty of her. At least we can kind of jump out and go and do something else for a bit. Drive back down to the opposite end of the field so we're ready when we need to empty her again. And then we can run into the farm, grab something else, and grab another piece of tool or equipment and go and do some more work. What we got there? Total mixed ration. There's no hay, there's no silage. There's plenty of hay in there. There's nothing in there, as far as I'm aware. Grab a tractor. Probably going for the loading wagon, I think. That's it. He's going to get the straw. And chuck the straw into the silage machine, please, Helgi. We'll turn the straw into silage today. We will. that makes any sense. Can't remember what I was looking at on the map there. Sorry, I would love to explain why I was looking at the map, but I can't remember. Oh, scumbag car. See, this is why I'm going to turn the traffic off. I think in future on all maps I'm just going to turn the traffic off in future in single player. I don't need the traffic on. It's more of a pain in the backside to have it on actually. So I think I'll disable the traffic on all my future Let's Plays. Because if roads are running right next to fields, it just causes all sorts of problems. So Doug came up here to plough the field and has just kind of sat here. He's just sat up here waiting for someone to come and actually pick the straw up. Rather than he go and get a tractor and go and do the straw himself, he's making poor old Helgi pull double duty. Typical manager, isn't he? Typical manager. Doesn't do any work himself, but watches everybody else. And yet he collects the biggest paycheck at the end of the month. And the bonuses. I'm sure we all know what, we can all relate to that, can't we? A lot of us, unless some of you out there are managers, then, you know, scumbags. You're getting paid more than the people below you, so you should do more work. You should do a bit more to help and support them. Poor little blighters that don't get paid a lot. I don't know how things are actually going today. I've not actually had the Discord thing opened up on my PC today. I ought to probably have it open just in case, because it's now about the time of day where Helgi's going to likely to appear, and he's probably going to go online and jump on the server and start doing stuff. So I will probably have to jump on the server this evening. In fact, it's 3:30 now. I've got to go out in a minute anyway. I don't know if Helgi's online. Peterbilt Trucker is playing American Truck Simulator. I'll just put myself on a do not disturb code for a few minutes, just in case he starts trying to message me and say, "Is the server online? Is the server online?" I say, yeah, the server's online, but then he never joins the server. He never goes on the server, so... fuck you. I also think it's very bad form, right, of anybody. You know, if you ask to join a server, and you ask to join someone's server that they've put together, that they've paid for, and that they're maintaining, the first time you join the server as a player, as a guest of that person, don't start making demands about what equipment they should have on the farm. This young lad, he joined the server and the first thing he did was say, "Oh, I want some John Deere tractors. I don't like fence. Get rid of the fence and get some John Deere." I'm like, excuse me? Whose server is this? Who's in charge? Quarter of an hour later, he's whinging about the cultivators. "Oh, these cultivators are too small and too slow." They're 14.5 metre cultivators. They're pretty much the third biggest cultivator you can get in the game. There's only 2 cultivators bigger, and we don't have those cultivators yet because A, we can't afford it. We couldn't afford them at that time, and B, we didn't have tractors with the horsepower capable of pulling them. But the 14.5 metre cultivators we were using were a massive upgrade over the 6 metre ones we started with. You know, so again, you've been on the server half an hour and you're whinging feel as, you know, take a moment to think how, like, me and Helgi felt for the first couple of weeks of playing on the server when we was using the small starting ploughs and cultivators. You know, 6 metre plough, 6 metre cultivator. I know we've upgraded to a 15 metre plough now, or 15.5 metre plough, and as I say, we've got 14.5 metre cultivators. But, you know, it's not, we're not instant, you know, we're building up slowly. That's the whole thing, purpose of having the server farm. It's going to be a journey. The main goal, our first goal and first priority is to own all the fields on the map, and it's a 4x map, there's a lot of fields. Once we own all the fields, then we can start thinking, right, now we need bigger equipment, now we need bigger cultivators, bigger ploughs, because obviously we need to work these fields a lot faster, be able to work these fields and turn these fields round faster. So that will come in time. You know, we've forked out a lot recently because we've just added the onion harvester, carrot harvester, potato harvesters, sugar beet harvesters. We've just forked out and outlaid a lot for those because obviously we have 2 harvesters, we have 2 of each, we have 2 onion harvesters, 2 carrot harvesters, 2 potato harvesters, 2 sugar beet harvesters, because obviously when we're working fields, we work together. We both go to a field, we both harvest, we both, when the harvester gets full, we both go grab a trailer, empty the harvesters, and we literally go around the map, working one field after another. 2 of us in 2 machines get it done a lot quicker. But that was the thing, because we needed to get into doing root crops, because otherwise we was just doing the same sort of grain crop harvest all the time. At least now having the option to do root crops, you know, we're spreading things out a bit more. We're giving ourselves a bit more variety when it comes to harvest time. But anyway, we'll get Dolores emptied, we'll get the canola out of the way and let her start up again. I'm hoping this time she definitely doesn't need unloading before we reach the end of the field. I think she can manage it this time. Helgi can get back to loading wagon in the straw. Get that all picked up and out of the way. Get that converted into some silage and stuff. Get the canola starting to be broken down and made into fuel and pig food ready for the big sell-off, which will come before the end of the series, because as I say, if I'm moving to Welker Farms, I'm going to need to take some money with me to Welker Farms to make sure I've actually got the proper starting equipment, and I can go to the store and buy all the proper equipment that the Welkers use. The Dolores can carry on Rostel smashing. Yeah, she definitely should finish the field this time. She hasn't got the long bit to do anymore. So, that's alright. That's good. Helgi hasn't got too much loading wagoning to do. So he should be A-OK on that. As I say, that's going to make some nice silage for us. Which will get slung in the BGA. I'm not going to sling the silage anywhere else. It'll go in the BGA. It'll make digestate. The digestate can then make fertiliser, and then we can sell that, and obviously we'll have a good income. Fair dinkum, as the Aussies would say. Fair dinkumed. Oh, I see Helgi's in the Discord. He must be on the server at some point. I must have a just load that up actually. Make sure I can see the server. Is one player online? There is one player online. That must be Helgi. Let's just open up the web interface and have a bit of a look-ski. Yeah, Helgi's on. He's been on for 52 minutes. That boy's keen, that man is. That man's keen. He gets on the server and just gets started doing things. He's found out now that if he's the only person on the server, he can go to the house on the map and sleep. And that's like a game changer for him, because now he doesn't have to stop at night in game. Or if it's raining, he can just fast forward time and everything. Brilliant. Yeah, just get all the straw picked up. I'm not going to worry about the tiny little splodgy bits that is where the harvester's dumped far too much in one spot, and therefore it's too wide for the loading wagon to pick up. That'll just get ploughed into the field by Doug when he gets started in a minute or two. Hopefully Doug will take care of that and get that all done. After he's ploughed, I will probably sling down some fertiliser, then sling down some lime. Then I'll have to cultivate over the top to change the ground state, because obviously we want to be able to get two-stage fertilising when we seed the field. I don't want to have to muck about spraying it while it's growing, or trying to spread while it grows, because actually our spreader doesn't do crops while they're growing, because it doesn't have crop-friendly wheels on it, our Titan. Don't think I've shown you that yet. That will probably be in the next video, actually. I don't think I've actually shown us using that on the farm since I bought it. But there will... Right, so get the plough going, Doug. Get the plough going. I know technically the field doesn't need it, but I don't know when it was last ploughed by the previous owner, so I'm going to do it. Dolores is still harvesting, so that gives me time to take the straw. Then get switched over, grab the auger wagon again and get ready to empty the canola. Another busy day on the farm, eh? Whoa! Steady on, cement mixer. Hey, look at that lot, look at the orchards. They've actually got the irrigation going on our little orchard trees. Oh, that's going to be a screenshot, that is, I think, for the video. Possibly. That's probably going to be the screenshot. The thumbnail. Right, so we'll get the straw put in the silage maker too. Obviously we'll get that, the straw will get mixed with the grass anyway, so it'll all be broken down into silage as soon as I've got field 51 mowed. So the grass will go on top, and then it'll break the straw down as well when. So Helgi best go grab his auger wagon now, grab the truck, get ready to unload the harvester. We're not going to get a great yield off of this field because it needed to be ploughed and it needed to be limed. Quite a lot of it after joining it together, and I didn't do that. Because obviously I joined it together using the cultivator, using the cultivator create fields mod, which sadly doesn't remove the ploughing requirement. So I've still got to go over the whole field with a plough after we've done the harvest. So again, this will be another field where I potentially lime spread it, fertilise it, and get stuff going. Auger out. Get ready to drop this into the diesel production building. I do need to kind of have a look at the edit of these mods for the future, because a lot of these production mods now, the newer version of them that we are using on our server map. The guys added sounds now when the buildings are actually processing the stuff inside them, and they're really incredibly loud. So I need to turn the volume down on some of the sounds in some of the mods for when I do my next Let's Play series. How are we doing for manure and stuff? We're getting a little bit low on manure. Could do with maybe some water as well in our orchards at some point. But it was nice to see the little area get the sprinklers going, providing the water. That was quite cool. I don't know whether to use that orchard mod on the Mercury Farms map when I do it. I might do. I might use the orchards. I don't think I'm going to use greenhouses or beehives or anything like that. We're probably not going to... I don't know if we're going to do any animals. I know Welkers in real life don't do any animals, so there's probably no need. There's no BGA on the map, so that's going to make life very difficult and interesting. Trying to figure out how to get stuff needed to make fertiliser is going to be quite interesting. So we have 30,000 litres of rate in there, so I'm going to make a little bit of diesel and a good bit of pig food potentially. Not going to get millions, but again it will all go into the slush fund, ready for the new map in a couple of episodes time. So I think what I imagine is at this point in the episode I was probably recording my outro bit, my whole usual thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed the video. Please go ahead, click that like button, you know, leave your comments, questions, suggestions. I was also having a bit of a play. I added the animal worker mod to the map at this point just to test it out, see how it works before I put it onto a new map or a new series. And I think it has an issue. I have an issue with it in the next episode. You're going to want to watch the next episode, because when the first time the animal worker goes to actually do its thing in game and take care of the needs of all the animals, it goes completely crazy. So I forewarn you, next video definitely worth watching. But as I say, this is where I'm doing my intro outro bit. But then I've got the footage of me doing the harvest, the mowing. I switched to the mowing bit now because, as I say, I figured out what was wrong with the mower, and basically it's the trailer. It was the trailer. For whatever reason, that trailer is too... You need a much smaller, much lower trailer, and it harvests into it. I found that if I didn't have a trailer connected to the harvester, it would mow perfectly happily. And if I have a small trailer, it harvests quite happily. So that red trailer that I was previously trying to use, our chrome trailer, is probably too big, I think. It's either too tall, or there's something about that trailer that the harvesters do not like filling into. I haven't tried it with the long pipe extension, buying the long pipe extension on the harvester and seeing if that does the trick. But right now I'm just going to use a small trailer. At least I know there's nothing, you know, wrong with the map or with the mods or anything like that. You just gotta pick a trailer that's the right height for the harvester. If you get one that's too big, it won't empty into it and it won't harvest the grass. But it's all working, it's all good. We're mowing, so I'll get all the grass mowed now, get that all done. So when you come back for the next episode in the series, which I think is episode 36, this will all be done, good to go, and we'll be doing something else. So now I'll do the proper outro for the video. So thank you everybody for watching the video. As I say, I apologise for the commentary being all over the place today. Like I say, the microphone was muted when I originally recorded the video, so I'm recording this now in Vegas extra, because I didn't want to just upload a video with zero commentary and no talking for an hour. So I hope you guys understand that. Like I say, if you want to go ahead and give me a like anyway, just, you know, it was a bit of a, you know, a bit of a pity like, please go ahead, click that button. If you're new to the channel and you're not already doing so, please subscribe. I promise you the videos are usually better than this, and the commentary is usually better than this. If you've got any questions, comments, suggestions or feedback, please go ahead or leave it in the comment section down below for me. I do look forward to reading the comments on all these types of videos, and generally on the farming videos I do respond and reply. I generally reply to comments left on current videos. If someone goes and comments on a video that I uploaded 5 years ago, I probably won't reply to it because, you know, those videos are done and dusted. But yeah, if you leave a comment on any of the farming videos, I generally reply. So thank you for watching. I've been CWATTYESO. This has been the Mercury Farms map by Alien Jim. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye for now.